going to work my lid in the main colour, so I'm going to get rid of my gold colour now, so we'll snip that off. Actually, I think what I might do is, if I pop my needle through this little hole here and up through there, I think I might pull my two little ends through the bottom there. You don't need to do this, it's just easier for me. I find it easier. Pull them through the bottom. We can pull them back through when we sew them in. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, right. So we're only going to be working with the one yarn now, which is our main colour. So we're at our row 11. We'll slip stitch in here just to attach the 11th row, so it's one ring, and then we're going to make our lid. So we need to chain one, and we need to turn around as if we're working from the opposite. So we're going to be working from the inside of the stitches. Can you see? So what I'm going to do now, let's have a little look, because I'm not quite sure how many stitches I need, but I think I'll do 6 for now. So we're working into both of the stitches there, so into single crochet. So I'll do 6 for now. So 6 single crochets, 1, going back on ourselves, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let's just check and see whether that's going to be a big enough lid. By looking at it, I'm not too sure. So we'll just pop our lip balm in again. No, that's going to be a little bit too small. Let's do another 2. So we'll do 8, 6, 7. It's kind of like a judgment game, this H, to see which. Right, let's see if that's going to be. So we'll pop our lip balm in again. Just have a check. Yes, that's going to be perfect, because if you can see, that's the start of our lid, that's the end of it. And we don't want it really overlapping. I think if we did any more, it'd be huge, because you'd have corners out here. But no, I think that's about right. Okay, take our lip balm back out again, and I'm going to chain 1, turn, so we're working in the row now rather than the round, working into this first loop here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our last one, 8. That's it. Perfect. So I'm going to do another, let's take another 2 rows and see where we are from there. So chain 1, turning back round, again working into this first stitch here, which is just underneath our chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's working up nicely, that little lid, isn't it? Chain 1, turn around, working into the first stitch here. Right, let's have a little look and see how our lip balm fits. Right, so we'll pull our lid over. just pull that loop so I haven't got the hook in the way. So we'll just, yeah, so it looks like we need a little bit. What I'm going to do at the end here is I'm actually going to do a little edging, so it doesn't need to be really overlapping as long as it's covering the top of your lip balm. So let's have a look. I think maybe one more row and then we'll need to decrease, start and decrease for our to make our lid come into more of a triangular shape, and then we'll need to make our buttonhole. So I'll do one more row and then I'll come back to you. So again, chaining one and then another row, and then we'll see where we are from there. Right, that's one extra row. Let's see where we are now. Just pull this. Oh yes, definitely. So we need to start and do our decreasing now. Let's take this little fella out, and we need to do our chain first of all. Turn our work round. Then we need to single crochet into this first stitch here. So single crochet into there. Then we need to single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet. So now we have 3 loops on our crochet hook. 1, 2, 3. We pull our yarn through all of those, and that is a decrease. So we've decreased one. So we'll crochet to the last 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's right. 4. And what we're going to do again is we're going to decrease again. So pop our crochet hook into the second to last stitch, pull it through, leave it on the hook, pop it into our last stitch, in it goes, pulling our loop through. So you have 3 stitches on and pulling our yarn all the way through. So now we should only have 6 stitches. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 stitches. So let's see how that's measuring up with our lip balm. I like to keep checking. Perfect. So we need to decrease again. I think I might do another row and then decrease. So we'll crochet over those 6 stitches. So again, we'll chain 1 into our first single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one 6. Oops. Okay, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, turn around, and again we're going to decrease one more time. So into the first stitch, pull through, into the second stitch, pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Take our yarn, pull it through. Then we need to single crochet 1, 2 to the last 2 stitches, and then single crochet into the second to last, leave it on the hook, crochet into the single crochet into the last stitch, take our yarn and pull through all 3 stitches, and that should be our final decrease. Let's check, see how it's looking. Perfect, absolutely perfect. So let me pull a loop through just to show you. Put my hook down. So that's absolutely excellent. So we've got our lid that fits really snug over the top of our lip balm, comes right to the end here. So we'll be making a buttonhole in a minute. I'll show you how to do that. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, let's take you out. Right, now then, for the buttonhole, what we need to do, so we need to chain. To make our buttonhole, we're going to do a series of chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll try 6 for now. 6. I'll just pull that right. No, I think I'm going to have more than that. So depending on the size of your button, let's have a 6. Let's try 7, 8. Okay. Turning around. into our 4th chain, our last chain here, we need to slip stitch and slip, oh, that's a bit tight, slip into there. Right, now that does look about right for the button that I'm going to make, which is going to be quite big. Now then, if you were wanting, let's pop our, makes it easier when you put your lip balm in. So obviously that's going to be our buttonhole here. We're going to do an edging so it'll look a bit better. That's going to be quite a size of button, but we have a little button here, so I would have made those chains a lot less. Let's have a look and see how many we would need for that. So if we pull out a couple, 1, 2, so we have 6 on. So if we attach that, pulling through and then slipping in, slip stitch, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better. So that's a much tinier buttonhole there, and this button would slip through quite nicely because we're going to single crochet around here as well. So yes, I think that would be ideal. But for the purposes of our one, because I'm going to make a homemade button, we'll do 8. So right, so we have our 8 chains, securing to the last stitch, pull your yarn through and then slip into the stitch. So we've just got a slip stitch. Now we're going to change our hook sizes. So this one was a 3.5. We're going to change to a 3mm hook. We're going to do our edging. So pop our hook in. Now you don't need to worry about this because obviously on the edge of your work, they're not stitches down this side here. So you just need to single crochet into, I would say probably 2 stitches in each of these little kind of bobbly bits, because each one is a row. So let's have a little look, see how we're going to do it. So catch hold of our yarn. So I would chain 1, that makes our first stitch. So we'll pop our smaller hook into one of the holes there. Whoops. Pull through, and we're just going to single crochet all the way down. So there's a nice little hole there, all the way down. That's it. You don't need to worry about how far apart each stitch is. I mean, you'll generally find that you'll probably get into your own rhythm. So here we go, all the way down. I think put another one in here. Just makes it look neater. Put one in there. As a rule of thumb, I usually just follow the rows and usually pop one in there. And you can see the corner here, pop one in there. And it's so much easier when you go round. So if I have a little look how neat that is. So I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets in there, and it does look a lot neater than this side at the moment. Right, much easier when you're going around here, around the neck of the pot holder. So we're just a single crochet into each single crochet all the way around. Obviously the smaller hook makes it look a lot neater, smaller stitch. So all around. Didn't realise how many stitches there were there. And then when we get to the end, we'll be working up the other side of our lid in exactly the same way. So a couple more stitches, just pop them in there. I think this is the last one coming up. No, not quite. Right, so we've got our corner stitch here, so we'll pop a single crochet in our corner stitch, and exactly the same way as we did on the way down, we're going to do on the way up the other side. So just picking up, pulling the yarn through, making single crochets as we go. So pushing our, try and pull up, right, that's it. Popping our hook into stitches as we go, pop one into there. There's no rules in relation to this. That was a bit, that's unusual. Really is just to make a lovely neat edge. I like. You could have just left it the way it was, but I much prefer to make an edging. Right, I think we'll leave it at that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into our buttonhole, and that makes it look much neater. So again, you can be the judge how many you want to put. So I'll put 1, 2, and we're going all the way in to our buttonhole, pulling our yarn through, just single crocheting. So that's 3, 4, we can get a few more in there, 5, 6, maybe 8, 7, yes, I think we'll just do 8. 8, so there we go, got our 8, and doesn't that look a lot better with the single crochets going around? And then we'll slip stitch into our first little slip stitch that we made on our edging. A little tough, right, we'll pull you through. Oh, it's a struggle. Come on, come on. Sometimes it's a little tight, right, that's it. Slip stitch in there. And I think we'll slip stitch into the next one as well, just to secure that yarn. There you go. Pull the yarn through our hoop, and there we have, it's finished. We'll secure that yarn and we'll, there we are. So there you go, that's the finish of our lip balm holder. We do need to sew in our ends now, but there you go, we have our lovely little buttonhole at the top there. Looks much neater now with the end, all the edging all single crocheted around with our smaller hook size. It looks quite nice. Right, we'll sew in our edges. Sew in our ends, and then we're ready to rock and make our button. And also at the back we're going to secure our key ring, our keychain. Okay. Okay, so let's get started and just secure all our ends in. So we'll start with this end here, our edging end, pop it into our, I managed to do that without my glasses because it's been so large. So, I mean, the way I do it, basically, you can do it your own, any way you want, but I just generally weave it into the stitches. So we'll pull it through, tighten it off. All the way through to the end usually. That gives it nice, it hides the stitch quite nicely. There you go. Just use my thimble to, my fingers are quite sensitive, so I'll pop that through. There we are. Right, so that should be absolutely fine there. Snip that bit off. Oops, there you go. So you can see here, you can hardly see where that's been slip stitched into, so that's lovely. Right, if you recall, I pushed these threads through here because they were annoying me, so we'll just turn our lip balm holder inside out and pull those threads through. Look how lovely and neat that is. When you're using each of your colours, you don't really need to worry too much about those, but we'll just secure these ends in just so that they're nice and neat. Oh. Okay, so our gold yarn. Just secure this through. So again, I like to just slip it through into each stitch, making sure you don't go through the back, through to the front, because that would look awful. Use ours. There you go. Don't need to. There, snip that one off. Secure these ones. For this one here, I think it's quite short. I think what I might do is I might put my needle first through the stitches that I want, and then a little trick, and then thread our thread through, and then we can just pull it through. Trick of the trade. Right, pull that through. There you go. And the last one here. Okay. So I'll just sew that into there. Just take it through there. That's lovely. Nice and secure. Now that should do it. That's not going to come loose, is it? Okay, so pop it back round the right way. Put Balm in. Superb, absolutely perfect. Okay then, perfect fit. Very pleased with that. Right, so what we need to do now is we need to make a button and our keychain.